Mesothelioma Lawsuit Guide Vertical Bar, Asbestos, Legal Compensation. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, you may be considering filing a lawsuit. A mesothelioma lawsuit allows victims to hold accountable the asbestos companies that negligently exposed them to the toxic carcinogen. Financial compensation can help cover expensive medical bills and improve quality of life. This guide explains the mesothelioma claims process and how an attorney can help maximize your compensation. What is mesothelioma? Mesothelioma is a rare, aggressive cancer caused by exposure to asbestos. Inhaling or ingesting asbestos fibers can lead to cancerous cell growth in the linings of the lungs, abdomen, or heart. Mesothelioma has a long latency period, often developing 20, 50 years after asbestos exposure. How asbestos exposure occurs. Most asbestos exposure occurred occupationally. Asbestos was used extensively in construction, shipyards, and other industries because of its durability and heat resistance. Workers directly handling asbestos were at the highest risk for exposure. Asbestos is now banned, but it is still present in many older buildings and materials. Reasons to file a mesothelioma lawsuit. Lawsuits allow victims to hold companies accountable and receive compensation. Key reasons to file a claim include recouping medical costs, lost wages, and other expenses, ensuring responsible companies are held liable, obtaining resources to pay for treatments to improve quality of life, getting justice and closure. An attorney can navigate the legal process and help maximize your compensation. Mesothelioma compensation options. There are two main ways victims can receive compensation. Lawsuits. You can sue asbestos companies directly for negligence. Asbestos trust funds. Many asbestos defendants have bankruptcy trusts to pay victims. Experienced mesothelioma lawyers can pursue compensation through both avenues. The mesothelioma claims process. Filing a mesothelioma lawsuit involves preparing your case. Your lawyer will compile your medical records, employment history, and asbestos exposure details. Filing a lawsuit. Your lawyer will identify all negligent parties and file a lawsuit on your behalf. Discovery phase. Your lawyer will conduct research, take depositions, and gather evidence. Settlement negotiations. Most cases settle out of court. Your lawyer will aggressively negotiate. Trial. If no settlement is reached, your case will go to trial. Types of asbestos-related diseases. In addition to mesothelioma, asbestos also causes asbestosis, scarring, and damage to lung tissues, lung cancer. One of the most common effects of asbestos exposure, pleural plaques, thickened patches on pleural lining. An experienced lawyer can obtain compensation if you develop any asbestos-related disease. Asbestos exposure risks. You may have been exposed to asbestos through occupational exposure, asbestos industry, construction, shipyards, and other trades. Secondhand exposure from a family member working with asbestos. Environmental exposure, naturally occurring asbestos near homes. Thorough research can identify the sources and parties responsible for your exposure. Mesothelioma legal rights. If negligence led to asbestos exposure that caused your illness, you have legal grounds to pursue compensation. Key legal provisions include statute of limitations, time limit to file a claim, though some exceptions exist, strict liability, in some cases, no proof of negligence is required, joint and several liability, allows claiming against multiple defendants. Why hire a mesothelioma lawyer? A mesothelioma lawyer has the expertise to maximize your compensation. Key benefits of legal representation include navigating complex asbestos claims process, identifying all responsible parties, gathering evidence to prove negligence, obtaining maximum compensation from lawsuits and trust funds, supporting you and advocating for your best interests. Client testimonials. Rosenberg Law got me a large settlement that covers my medical costs and improves my quality of life. Joseph B., mesothelioma client. I highly recommend Gibson Law Group. They worked tirelessly and helped me get justice. Amanda S., mesothelioma client. Contact a mesothelioma law firm today. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, contact our qualified attorneys for a free consultation by calling 215-298-4874 or visiting www.mesolawsuit.com. Let us help you seek the maximum compensation to cover your medical costs and improve your quality of life. Conclusion. Going through a mesothelioma diagnosis is challenging enough without having to pursue legal action on your own. An accomplished mesothelioma lawyer can handle your claim so you can focus on your health and family. With extensive experience handling asbestos cases, our attorneys can help maximize your compensation. Contact us today to get started.